views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hola everyone, and welcome to Open, the one and only show bringing the best of the Bronx, New York, and the world straight to you. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. Leading things off, we get more details behind the 4th annual Dip for Homelessness at the Bronx Polar Bear Plunge and how you, the viewers, can participate. After that, we chat with Amadeus, CEO of Platinum Boy Music and musical director and tour drummer for Trey Songs. And we're going to talk about how he's helping inspiring young individuals through his Music 101 college tour. And then we'll be treated to a performance by Platinum Boy music artist Captain Dmac, who will perform his single, Think About. And later on in the show, Bobby C gives us the latest in sports. And finally, our open artist spotlight shines on Bronx native Mathew Silvera, a.k.a. MattViolinist, showcasing one of his latest string pieces. That's right, so sit back y prepárate. All this and more is coming your way because now we are officially open. Hello and welcome to Open, everyone. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche for the next hour. Always inviting you to get social with us online. That's right. Tweet us and follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV or like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, don't forget while you're there, follow moi on Twitter, Instagram, FB, Snapchat, Insta Stories, LinkedIn at Rhina Valentin. And so on Saturday, February 17th, many Bronxites will be taking a plunge in the frigid waters of the Long Island Sound for this year's 4th annual Dip for Homelessness, which is part of the Bronx Polar Bear Plunge. And the purpose of this event is to bring awareness to homelessness, a problem that affects people in the Bronx and throughout New York City. And the event is just another reminder of the challenges that homeless people face in the winter. And joining us now to tell us more about the 2018 Dip for Homelessness is Program Director for the BronxWorks Homeless Outreach Team, Juan Rivera, and Program Coordinator for Community Health Literacy, Sarah Zamiello. Welcome and thank you for being here. And we genuinely appreciate the additional efforts you guys are making to make sure that people can get there. Let's talk about homelessness first and foremost.
Sure. So yeah, I mean, homelessness obviously a hot button topic in the city. I mean, there's a lot of attention on it. You know, the mayor has sort of done a lot to increase the staffing across the city and the different agencies that are working with the homeless population. So for us, you know, our staff kind of went from maybe about 12 to 15 people. We've doubled that. We've gone past maybe 30, 35 people now. So that's helped us to really sort of address, you know, the issues that are going on and kind of do it more efficiently and meet more people and touch more people as we're out there on the streets.
So when we say assist, in what aspect are we referring to?
Well, I mean, our team, it's a mobile team, so we're out there on the street 24 hours a day. And basically what we are trying to do first and foremost is to meet the folks that are out on the street, build a relationship, you know, create a little bit of rapport, try to get them to trust us enough to accept the services that we have to offer. I mean, initially, you know, we can offer people sort of concrete things like a shower or a meal, or just a night off the street in a drop-in center. You know, the more long-term things we can offer are eventually permanent housing. You know, we can sort of link folks to different types of care.
So you guys have like a process that actually can assist through BronxWorks.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, we have a lot of different sort of services that go wrapped into the program. I mean, it starts with the simple, like I mentioned, just a simple thing like coming to the drop-in or taking a shower or something like that, and then, eventually getting that person from, let's say, the park bench to their own apartment, having keys to their own apartment, which is great.
Wonderful. It's wonderful. Sarah, what are your contributions to this? Because you're a separate department.
Well, I'm actually under Adult Homeless Services. I'm our hospitals coordinator, so I work with the homeless outreach team and the drop-in center and the Safe Haven, and I basically coordinate with the Bronx hospitals and helping them deal with the homeless population, because sometimes the hospitals aren't as aware about working with homeless people, and so I help educate them and I help work with the homeless population and help them get those really vulnerable, chronically street homeless people into our services. So I do the education piece with the hospitals, and then I also help them get those folks into our services.
So when you say health, I mean, from what I understand, a lot of the homeless population suffers from like mental health, drug abuse of some sort that is chemically induced. And so how do you get people to come back to, I guess, wanting, right? Because it starts with wanting, right? They kind of get lost and they float, and then things happen, and then life happens, and then these circumstances end up happening. How do you bring those people back from that lifestyle?
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of our clients also have a lot of chronic health conditions, and when they're living on the street, those health conditions just become more persistent. And so working with the hospitals and building really good relationships with those hospitals is really helpful in terms of a lot of our clients spend a lot of time in the hospitals. So when we build good relationships, we're able to communicate with the hospitals and then bring those folks from spending a lot of time in the hospitals back into our services.
And this leads us into the polar bear plunge, right? Because the idea is for people to take the initiative to be a stand for the homeless individuals, right? Our homeless neighbors, we'll say, and have a sense of what that feels like to be out in the freezing cold.
Right.
And having no choice but to tolerate it, right? So let's talk a little bit about how this merger happened between BronxWorks and BronxNet, because I know that Michael Maxnavi is one of the founders of the Bronx Polar Bear Plunge, and it's been really exciting for us to see its development and see it now serve a grander purpose.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's like you mentioned in the opening, it's the 4th year that we've been doing this, so I think, the event sort of was born of this idea of raising awareness, regarding the homeless population, and basically the dip, is symbolic. It's sort of a metaphor for, what it feels like for someone on the street to be out there in the cold. I mean, jumping into the water, you may think, those folks are crazy. What are they doing? But, if you think about someone who's on the street, they have to do that every single night, throughout the 4 or 5 months of winter, consistently. And so basically it's a way to raise awareness and help people understand that, safety of the people that are on the street is a big deal to us, and the public should sort of be aware. And I think, we take it, we take the event and sort of, again, sort of put out there that, hey, we want to know if folks are seeing people out there, and call 311 if you see them, so that we can respond to that call and hopefully bring someone in from the cold.
And in addition, right, let's say if you don't want to take the dip, which, not everybody's, it's also flu season and so forth. Although we did have someone on last week who's
I saw that,
a
yes.
Bronx Polar Bear Plunge regular, and he told me that he does the plunges to prevent himself from getting sick, which I found very fascinating. It's fascinating, right? And so, but with regards to the ones that don't want to take the dip, there's also a donation factor that one can contribute to. So do you want to share the details of that and how they can do that?
Yeah, so they can come to one of the BronxWorks locations. We're accepting gloves and hats and scarves, or money donations at our BronxWorks locations. We can accept them at 800 Barretto, where our drop-in center is, and at our 1130 Grand Concourse, I believe, which is our main community center. So I believe we're accepting them through today as the last day.
I think it's the 23rd, actually. You can make donations up to
Even after the plunge, right?
Even after the
plunge is happening this Saturday.
Yeah, there's several different BronxWorks offices that'll accept. If you go to BronxWorks.org, you can get more information. And also BronxNet has information on their website regarding the event.
And lastly, I do want to share for those who are wondering how they're going to get to Orchard Beach, let's talk about the private services, right? You're offering commute services, BronxWorks, from Pelham Bay 6. So you still have to take the subway to Pelham Bay.
Right. So we will have a van there at the Pelham Bay 6 train station at 10:30. We do have, the driver will stick around. I mean, he's not going to leave at 10:30 on the dot, so, you know, we try to leave a little bit of time. But basically, we want to get folks from the train station over to Orchard Beach, Section 9, for the event, which kicks off at 11 o'clock.
Which kicks off at 11. There's soup, there's hot cocoa, there's all that jazz. There's even a DJ. I mean, these people go all out. They make a party out of it. And you guys got good weather tomorrow, okay?
Yeah,
I just want to share
pretty
that.
nice.
No, but because I've seen this plunge happen in like
It's happened
snow.
in colder weather. Yeah, you're right. You're right. We were hoping it would be like 60, but, you know, I don't think it's going to be
That's
that
a
warm.
lucky.
What, 10 minutes? I mean, 10 minutes, 10 degrees difference? Come on.
Right.
It's all good. It's all good. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Are there any last words you want to share with our viewers?
No, again, just to reiterate the idea of 311, I think, you know, it's important for the public if they want to be involved. You know, I think we have 2 teams on the street at all times, but it's still 2 teams, and, you know, the public at large knows their neighborhood best. So, you know, if they see someone out there who they think may need services, call 311. You know, we respond to those calls within an hour, and if you leave contact information, we'll call you back to let you know what happened.
And thank you. Thank you again for your continued efforts with the homeless
Thank you very much.
outreach.
Thank you.
And you guys, I don't know if you're interested in taking a dip for homelessness. That's happening tomorrow, Saturday, February 17th. BronxWorks, once again, is providing pickup transportation at 10:30 a.m. outside the number 6 train Pelham Bay subway station. Event kicks off at 11 a.m. at Orchard Beach, with the big plunge taking place at noon. So for more information, you can go to bronxworks.org/dip-against-homelessness. All right, more open coming up. Don't go anywhere.
Let's get ready, let's get warmed up. Let's pop, let's rock.
We are at this event with BronxWorks, raising awareness and support to fight homelessness.
Go.
All right, you guys, once again, the Bronx Polar Bear Plunge Dip Against Homelessness is taking place on Saturday, February 17th. As you saw, it looked kind of fun. So once again, it kicks off at 11. The big plunge takes place at noon. And of course, you can visit our website at BronxNet.tv for more. Okay, so February is Black History Month, and Senator Jamal Bailey hosted a Black History Showcase at PS 103 to celebrate Black History Month and more. So reporter Ashley Tiffany has the story. Let's take a look.
We're here at PS 103 for the Black History Showcase, where the community is stepping into a year of welcoming opportunities, knowledge, and education. Senator Jamal Bailey wanted to uplift and educate the Bronx youth on why Black history is so important at Stay Woke.
Black history is American history, and the earlier we teach our children that, the better off we are. We come from a lineage of kings and queens, and when we show the young people that we are from kings and queens, that you will act like a king and a queen, so it's important to show them their history so that they can be successful in the future.
We wanted everybody to come out and celebrate Black history.
And this is big that Senator Jamal Bailey's, from the Bronx, and he runs the district and everything. It's huge.
Their gifts and talents from Black art, entrepreneurship, fashion, singing, and dancing was showcased.
With the clothing brand being a part of the show that he has, it really is something that we connect to, something that connects the culture to what we do, the talents. It really gives us a platform just to speak on what we're doing.
Our uniqueness is everything, you know, from the clothing line to the series, and I feel like it's very important for Black History Month because it shows how, you know, we're born with quality traits and that everybody can relate to, and hopefully someone can, you know, pass the baton down and someone else can definitely run behind us, the next generation ahead.
The message behind the show was to inspire young people to go out into the world to chase their dreams. This is Ashley Tiffany reporting from BronxNet.
And thank you. Welcome back to the studios. Once again, don't forget to get social with us. Tweet us at BronxNet TV and tweet me at Rhina Valentin while you're there. All right. So our next guest is a producer, musician, and the CEO of Platinum Boy Music. He's worked with over 80 artists such as J-Lo, Chris Brown, French Montana, and Trey Songz, to name a few. He's also Trey Songz' musical director and tour drummer. However, the one thing we can say about this Bronx boy, Amadeus, is he's all about giving back to the community and inspiring individuals to live their dreams, which is what inspired his Music 101 College Tour. Joining us now to share more on Platinum Boy Music and the Music 101 Tour, we welcome Platinum Boy CEO Antoine Amadeus Thompson.
What an introduction.
I want everybody to know who you are.
Well, thank you, Queen. Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
And I especially love the fact that you always refer to me as Queen.
Yeah, that's what you are.
I appreciate that. That's a king for you, right?
Yes,
there.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Kings recognize queens.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's how you live in, like a king.
Absolutely.
But a humble king.
Yes.
And I appreciate that.
Yes.
We appreciate that.
Thank
and we
you.
appreciate you coming here.
I'm home.
Every
I'm
chance
home.
you can.
Yes, yes,
when
yes.
you're here
Yes.
in New York. I mean, I know you're from here, you live here, but you travel a lot.
Yes.
And we just love that you always find the time to come back and give it back to
Absolutely.
our audience.
Thank you so much.
You've done a lot since your last visit last year. I think
Yes.
you're visiting annually
You know,
now,
do
right?
it yearly, yes.
Yes.
Check
and we
in
love
with you.
that.
Gotta check
That's
in with you.
what we love the updates. And I just want to kick off with the Rolling Stone article, just because I was like, yes, yes. What was that like for you?
You know what? A dream come true. You know, growing up as a kid, you know, it first starts off with like the Source magazine and Vibe and all of these different hip hop magazines, but then you reach Billboard and you're like, one day I dream of possibly being featured, you know, in a Billboard magazine or in a Billboard article, and that dream came true. Took me 17 years to get it, you know, but it's here, and I bring that up because people think that just because they're talented and gifted that things happen overnight, and obviously I'm explaining that it took me 17 years to get that article, to get that feature, so, you know, it takes hard work.
It does hard work, dedication, and giving back,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because you have to create that space
Absolutely.
to receive.
Yes.
Right. And so the one thing, okay, let's talk a little bit about how you've produced all these major talents, and in that process, you were able to design and create your own label, and how you are, in addition to that, like discovering new talent, you're over there, I guess, inspiring the possible new talent and or producers, right? So you're not just focusing on discovering talent, you're focusing on discovering producers as well.
Absolutely.
And because that's really your origins, although you dip your hands in all these other departments within the music industry.
Yes. You know, growing up and figuring out my way in the music business, you know, I had to do it alone. Of course, I had guidance here and there, but no one really gave me the blueprint and said, this is the do's, this is the don'ts, watch out for that, do that. So, you know, I wanted to do the opposite of that. You know, so my partner and I, Michael Daniel, we created the Music 101 College Tour to just, you know, educate individuals about the music business, but then also teach them about all of the different areas and jobs there are in the business. You know, everybody wants to be an artist, a producer, songwriter, a superstar, but it's like people that are behind the scenes that make a lot of money that allow and push these artists to be who they are today. You know what I mean? So from barbers to stylists to production managers to sound engineers to A&Rs to management, so many different things, and people, it opens up people's eyes to say, okay, well, I can do this, I can do that, besides being an artist. So that's kind of what we wanted to do.
Right, because everybody kind of thinks like, oh, it's all about being the rap artist, but they don't realize all the other components that come with it.
Yes.
And so that kind of leads me into how you became Trey Songz, musical director and drummer.
Yes, multitasking.
Talk about it. And we haven't even talked about the Vegas residency.
No. Busy man.
I know. That's why I'm like all excited you're here.
We were in the studio.
Yes.
We were in studio working on a song with Mike Jones. They were both signed to Warner Brother, Atlantic Records at the time. And I remember Mike saying, we need an artist, an R&B vocalist on this song, and we threw out Trey Songz, we threw out Amarion, and we threw out Tyrese. And, you know, this is before I was working with Trey. And, excuse me, and Trey, you know, everything about him, his energy, his vocal ability, his swag, his style fit the song. And, you know, we reached out to the label, got him in a day or two later, got in the studio, and here he was. We were all creating this song, and it was a drum set in the corner. And I was like, you know I play drums, right? And both Trey and Mike was like, I don't play no drums, man. I said, listen, I'm a producer. You hear the drums on the track. You know, this is how it started for me. And, you know, they kind of laughed it off. And I just put it out there. I said, you know, one day, you know, you're going to need a band. And when you need a band, call me, and I'll put the band together. A year later, I got the phone call and then from his manager at the time, Delonte Murphy, you ready to put the band together? And I was like, nah. You know, I just kind of like said it, put it out there.
Right.
You know, something that I would love to do. And when I got the phone call, I was definitely unprepared. I never have done it before and was nervous, but I accepted the job. You know, I had another friend of mine who was already a music director for Case and Casey and JoJo. And I tried to give him the job because it was what he was already. And he was like, no, 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 you're gonna do it. They gave me an opportunity. You know, this is how I got here. Now here's your opportunity to do the same. I'll give you whatever information you need. I'll help you wherever you need. And here I am today, 10 years later. You know, music director with Trey Songz. We toured almost the entire world. BT and 106 in Park and Australia and Africa, and all by just saying, you know, let me put the band together. You know, you got to speak things into existence.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. You're
Yes.
living proof of it.
Yes,
And
yes.
so let's talk a little bit about how you work with, you work with Atlantic Records, right? Hitman, right?
Bad Boy, yes.
Right? And then you have your own. So
Yes.
how is that for you? And how do you remain impartial?
It's different. You know, it's different. You know, but with the knowledge that I've gained with working with all of the artists that I work with and all of the labels that I work with, you know, I felt like there's an amazing talent out there that need a chance, that deserve a chance to share their gifts and talents with the world, and we want to do that at Platinum Boy Music. You know what I mean? It started with just me as a musician, as a producer, and then transitioned into becoming a company. Producers, songwriters, artists, Captain Dmac, Flyboy Maestro, Music 101 College Tour. So we're just doing all kind of different things to just help and allow people to help live their dreams.
So you have brought a few of your artists, right? And we'll talk about them in a minute.
Okay.
But I'm really curious to know how you choose your artists. And so does your label have a certain brand of talent that you represent? And how do you find them?
Well, we created something called the Sit Down. And with this event, a lot of artists, producers, you know, creators reach out to us, whether it's online, IG, or, you know, social media platforms to try to be seen and heard. And it's not enough time in a day for me to click on every link, for me to take every CD, take every, you know, gig stick. So we created this event to sit down and to meet with the different artists and talent that's out here. And that's how it all came about, where we met Captain Dmac. He came in, played his songs, played his recordings, you know, heard Flyboy Maestro, and it was just like a thing where I just fell in love with them, you know what I mean? And they're men, so I had to be careful, pause. But everything that they represented was just dope, you know what I mean? It was a feeling, it was a vibe. It's really hard to explain. It's just something that you feel when you hear something.
It sounds like an open call type of thing.
Yes.
So how often do you have these? Do you literally put an open call, or you do it kind of like on the DL?
Well, no, I put open call to all social media, you know, on our website as well. Excuse me, we have one this Saturday, actually tomorrow.
Oh,
we
you
have
do?
one tomorrow where you go to the website, www.platinumboymusicworldwide.com, under the program section, and you sign up, you register, you sign up, you get a slot. I need some water.
I know, our segment's almost over. I'm sorry,
okay,
honey.
I'm hanging in there.
I know, hang in there.
It's
We're
early,
almost
you know,
done. Yeah,
us
well,
producers,
no, I feel you. I feel you. I'm sorry.
nine
But not
hours.
in the middle of our segment.
Okay,
So, I mean, because all we're going to see is a hand bringing water.
Yes,
you
you
know,
don't want to see that.
But it's almost over.
But this is a moment to you know, sometimes things might not be the way you want it.
Right.
Things may be a challenge. Things may be difficult, but you got to push through.
Right.
You can't give up. Somebody may not be there to help you with a helping hand, but you got to fight and you got to push through. And this is what I did to become who I am today. So with this note, I'm gonna keep pushing.
I love
You
the
gotta turn it into
metaphor.
something. You gotta turn it into something.
I loved it. It was a great closure too. It was a great closure. And you guys, once again, that was hot. Amadeus, that's it. And for more information, if you were listening, he did offer you guys the opportunity to join the open call. You can go to learn more about the open call by visiting PlatinumBoyMusicWorldwide.com. That's PlatinumBoyMusicWorldwide.music.com. We have to take a quick break, but when we return, one of Platinum Boy artists will take the stage, so don't go anywhere. Don't want to miss that.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Welcome back to Open, everyone, and make sure to stay connected to us by liking us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. Joining us now is one of Platinum Boy Music upcoming artists, and here to perform his new single, Think About, featuring Juani. Please welcome Captain Dmac.
Thinking, I've been thinking, I've been drinking, and I think I'm overthinking, and I think it's over.
Playing with my heart again. I'll probably take another shot again.
You said we always run away from our problems. Well, I wouldn't have them if you didn't cause them, yeah.
Yeah, I'm regretting it.
Only because you got colder. And you should have thought of that before you were partying. She was in, that's the girl you were messing with. While you playing though, put your head to the bottle, babe.
Thinking I would ruin something so faithfully. Something that's told me that we should have probably just stayed as friends.
Constantly hitting me up and asking for company. It seems like you don't give a about what you've done to me. Should've stayed to myself like I always been.
Falling in love is embarrassing. Don't even hit on the line again. Cause I've been on independent. Stay on my focus and win this year. I'm always winning, it isn't fair. Sorry, I'm back on my arrogance.
You want me wasting my time again. Searching for something real, and you left me scarred off on the thrill.
But we kept it on the low, cause we both been on the road.
Baby, I just wanna know,
do you think about me? Do you still think about me? Do you still think about me? Do you still think about me? You used to think about me. Do you still think about me? Do you still?
You're the reason why I never trust my heart with no one.
phone, you still playing me. If you knew I wouldn't go, would you still talk to me though? Before I never let it phase me. Now my life is getting crazy. What you been wanting to we were searching for something real, and you left me scarred off on the open on the road. Hey. I just want to do you think about me? You used to think about me. Do you still think about me? Do you still? Do you still? Do you still think about me? You used to think about me. Do you still think about me? Do you still? Do you still? And I know I'm overthinking.
Give it up for Captain Dmac featuring Juani. Oh my goodness, I want a hug. Yeah, Pat and Boy music in the house. You guys, once again, for anything Captain Dmac music, that can be found on Apple Music, Spotify, and, well, it's all under Dmac. That is, right?
Yep.
That's right?
Correct.
All right.
Dmac.
Captain Dmac, under Captain Dmac.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
This is Bobby C. out at the Barclays Center, where we begin our look at sports with the new look LA Clippers, who are taking sharing is caring to a new level. The Brooklyn Nets have dropped 6 in a row, but Clippers head coach Doc Rivers sees some improvement here in Brooklyn.
The team executes, they play hard, they play together. I don't think people appreciate how hard that is when your team's not winning to get guys to play together. Most of the time, guys start looking at contracts, they get selfish, and it's all about numbers. Somehow Kenny has figured it out, like they still play together, and that's pretty impressive.
7 Clippers tonight and double-figure points for LA.
I think it's been great, man. Guys are super unselfish. You know, I was talking to Avery during the game. I said, with this much scoring on the team now, everybody's numbers will drop a little bit, and we have to be willing to sacrifice that to make the playoffs. You know what I mean? And you know, sometimes guys get caught up in their numbers, and you know, because they want to get paid and stuff like that. And I get it, but when you win, all that stuff comes. We just got to win games. So when you have multiple scoring threats, it's going to be someone's game every other night.
We're fighting for something big. You know, that's to get a seed in the playoffs and make that run. So you know, I think that's where our focus is. And also, too, it's a group of new guys, so we're still trying to understand each other, learn each other. But we just got to stay focused with it and understand that we got to go out and handle our business.
The Brooklyn Nets didn't fare much better in closing out the pre-All-Star break Wednesday night against Indiana at home. The Pacers edged the Nets 108-103. Brooklyn will get a much-needed break as the NBA is in L.A. this weekend for All-Star. The Nets return next Thursday in Charlotte against Bronx boy Kemba Walker and the Hornets. Valentine's night was even more crushing for the Orange and Blue. Talk about a real heartbreaker. Bradley Beal scored 36 points, and the Washington Wizards overcame a 27-point deficit to beat the slumping New York Knicks 118-113. Over the last 20 seasons, there were 7 games with bigger blown leads than the 27-point advantage the Knicks squandered on Wednesday night, per ESPN stats and information. Wednesday's loss was not the largest blown lead in franchise history, at least. Knicks head coach Jeff Hornacek again suggested that Frank Ntilikina, Emmanuel Mudiay, and Trey Burke will play more after the All-Star break. Asked about Ntilikina playing 11 minutes against the Wizards, Hornacek said he liked what veteran Jarrett Jack was doing with the starters, and Ntilikina isn't used to defending a player like Jody Meeks at shooting guard. On the ice, the New York Rangers got back to their winning ways last Friday night at home, topping Calgary 4-3. We go inside the locker room for more.
No, I mean, we got a little bit, we got some power play against us. I mean, it's obvious that they get some momentum after that, but I thought we defended well. We didn't give in that much, 5-on-5, and I think everyone who played today played with good character and heart, and it was a good win for us.
I mean, it was a dream those first couple shifts. After that, it was just hockey, so I had a great time, and it was a great atmosphere tonight, and glad we got the win.
Yeah, I mean, I think we haven't been playing as bad as our record showed. It's you know, I think we're just been on the wrong side of things. So we're going to keep trying to put 60-minute games together, and you know, this road trip's going to be a really good test. I think you know, there's no easy games, and this is definitely not an easy road trip. I think we're really looking forward to these challenges, and I think we're just really happy to be on the right side of this one tonight.
You know, we've been losing a lot of one-goal games, which means we're one play away, we're one save away, we're one goal away from getting points. Tonight we got that goal, and maybe we got that save in the end to keep the lead. So that's the difference a lot of times. 1 or 2 plays in the end, and big difference in the locker room afterwards.
Broadway Blue Shirts carried that win over to Sunday, a 3-1 victory against Winnipeg, but couldn't make it 3 straight and a 3-2 loss to Minnesota on Tuesday. But the big blow came Thursday night in Brooklyn, where the New York Islanders kept up their recent mastery of the crosstown rival Rangers with a 3-0 victory. Sadly, it's time for the Rangers to break things up. The Rangers will skate in Ottawa Saturday and return home for Philadelphia on Sunday. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. On the NFL gridiron, wide receiver great Larry Fitzgerald will return for his 15th season with the Arizona Cardinals in 2018. But longtime Raiders kicker Sebastian Janikowski will not. The former #1 pick is out after 18 years with the Raiders. Back closer to home, the Jets are estimated to have the 2nd most salary cap space this season and should have plenty of money to go after the top free agents. They are somewhere in the neighborhood of $73 million to date. New Jets offensive coordinator, he has a Kirk Cousins connection. Jeremy Bates used to coach under Mike Shanahan, and Cousins used to play for him. That common history could make for a better future in New York. Cousins would be an upgrade at quarterback for the Jets. The New York Football Giants don't have much money to spend, but enough to make things work. The Giants officially announced their coaching staff this week. New head coach Pat Shurmur noted new offensive coordinator Mike Shula has done an outstanding job developing and working with quarterbacks. Remains to be seen whether Big Blue goes after a QB in the draft, takes someone else at #2, or trades down to acquire multiple picks and perhaps revamp that really bad offensive line. Talk about a rejuvenated St. John's men's basketball team. Shamori Pons continued his remarkable run with 26 points and a career-high 10 assists, and St. John's continued its turnaround with a 77-76 win over DePaul on Wednesday night. Maybe I was wrong about Chris Mullen's group. Pons has certainly sparked the team and given naysayers reason to believe with March Madness just around the corner. The Winter Olympics in South Korea has been must-see TV. Shaun White won his third gold medal this week and the 100th at that point for America in the Winter Games. However, on the heels of his Olympic gold medal winning run in South Korea on Wednesday, the snowboarder was immediately asked about sexual harassment allegations that were leveled against him in 2016, casting a shadow on the celebration. The 31-year-old at first tried to dismiss the claims as gossip, a word he later apologized for using. In golf, Tiger Woods shot a 1-over-par 72 in the first round of the Genesis Open on Thursday. His return to his hometown event for the first time in 12 years. He is scheduled to tee off today at noon. Second round. The Daytona 500 is Sunday. Danica Patrick might be garnering some of the headlines with her last two races on tap, but I would expect to see a Cup contender in victory lane. I'll take Kyle Busch to win Sunday in Daytona. Don't count out Martin Truex Jr. or Joey Logano either, but it would be nice to see Danica and some history in the 500. Speaking of historic careers, happy 46th birthday to Jaromir Jagr. He turned 46 Thursday. Jagr has likely played his last game in the NHL, but the future Hall of Famer entertained hockey fans across 24 seasons, playing an incredible 1,733 games. He played in the NHL until he was 46. Pretty impressive. Eat your heart out, Tom Brady. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for some motivation for the Bronx Bombers. It's officially the first week of spring training, and Houston Astros ace Justin Verlander is already bringing the heat. No, we aren't talking about his velocity. We're talking about him making it clear that the Astros aren't a team to mess with this season. The MLB Network is all in on the New York Yankees. During a segment on MLB Network's High Heat Tuesday, Christopher Mad Dog Russo was talking about the Pinstripers just hours after Aaron Boone held his first news conference of the spring. Russo went over the potential lineups for the Yanks, stating there's no way you can't think that the Yankees are the team to beat in the American League, he said. Verlander took to social media and he said he can think of a reason why the defending champion Stros, the 34-year-old righty who was dealt from Detroit to Houston on September 1st of last year, went 5-0 with a 1.06 ERA and 5 regular season starts. The former Cy Young winner followed that up by going 4-1 with a 2.21 ERA and 6 postseason appearances, including 2 wins against the Yankees in the American League Championship Series. New Yankee skipper Aaron Boone and longtime veteran CC Sabathia agreed with Verlander's assessment, but said the club is back. I would agree. Justin, you and the Astros beat the Yanks in 7 games. Our team got better this offseason. We'll see you in October. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Music is a bridge between the material and the spiritual. As a blind person, you have to be aware that nobody can tell you what you can or can't do. You really have to try things. My wife, who was also blind, was a good cook. When she died, that's when I started Meals on Wheels. My name is Harvey Lauer. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Hello and welcome back to Open, everyone. Make sure to stay connected to us by liking us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. So today's spotlight shines on Bronx musician Mathew Silvera, a.k.a. MattViolinist, who started playing the violin at a young age and hasn't stopped playing since. And, well, he's performed on off-Broadway shows and participated in NYC government campaigns such as #Not62. For us Bronxites, you know what that's about. And, well, he's going to join us now to share more about his journey as we welcome him back to our open stage. Let's give it up for MattViolinist!
Woo! What's up? Long time no see.
I know. I'm so happy to have you back on. Oh, my gosh. You know, nothing really excites me more than having artists that we've featured in the past come back and visit us and just give us an update as to where life has taken you and how you've expanded your artistic horizons, which you have. I think we also had you on again last year.
It was like, I want to say it's almost going on 2 years.
But 2 years ago?
Something like that.
Oh, so then we have a lot to catch up on.
It's a lot.
Yeah, and we don't have that much time, so we got to summarize it, right? So, but no, you've come a long way, baby. Talk to us.
All right, cool. So within the last 2 years, I was on this tour, Hip Hop Nutcracker, and that was a nationwide tour, and then we also toured Russia for a small amount of time. So
Hip Hop Nutcracker, but wait. You forgot to mention that was with Curtis Blow.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hello.
Uncle Curtis, man, that's my man, yo.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it was great, man. It was great. I loved it, man. It was great energy. The cast was great. You know, the dances were great. The energy was great.
So what differentiates the Hip Hop Nutcracker? Obviously, the title hip hop, but let's talk about the flavor in which it was executed, and the fact that you've got you're like a hip hop violinist, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how the Nutcracker, I guess, served your artistry because you're unique in your own flavor. We're so excited to have you here.
I'm a hip hop violinist, but I am classically trained.
Right.
So the Hip Hop Nutcracker, it took my God, I can't speak today.
No, you can.
Traditional score of the Nutcracker. They flipped a lot of it and they made it into hip hop. So they also had like hip hop dancers and stuff like that. So the thing that was great about it is that like I'm just like, man, this is like literally right up my alley, you know? So
how'd you get that?
I mean, did a couple of Googles, found the audition, just went out, auditioned, got the role.
That's how it works.
Yeah,
and you toured, right?
Yeah.
Where did you tour to?
Well, we did the United States, and
right.
then we also did Moscow, Russia. We was in Kaliningrad for a little bit. It was great. It was great. Yeah, it was amazing.
And you were chilling with Curtis Blow.
Yeah. Cool dude, man.
'Cause these are the breaks. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so the tour's over?
It's over. It's over.
Well, you know, the holidays are over as well, although if you toured, that means you were touring outside of the holiday season. So what's up for you now?
So right now I'm doing like a lot of cover work online. I've been doing like I've just been trying to get the eyes on me for a little bit. So even within the last 2 years that we spoke, like my following has grown over like, 12, 13,000 followers, which is great. I had like 2 viral videos which had like collectively over 10 million views on multiple different platforms. So that was amazing. So right now, I'm just trying to, get the MattViolinist brand to stick, you know? When they see the high top fade and they see the violin, like, oh yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah.
That's MattViolinist.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're very excited to have you here and talking about all of this, right? And just traveling the world as well as, your viral scene. I mean, it's very interesting now how one can actually develop themselves and develop their brand as well as their visibility independently. And that's the beauty of the social media. All right. So what makes you so unique, aside from the fact that you have this amazing violin that you plug electronically, right? Because I don't think I've ever really seen anybody do it with a violin except for you. And so, yes, you have the hip hop flavor. So what else, aside from your high top and your violin?
Excuse me. What makes me different? I mean, to be honest, it really just, it's all about flavor. And I feel like the biggest thing that makes me, I keep everything simple. There is a lot of beauty with the complex stuff that all of these violinists do, but it's just like, you can go to a show like that, hear them do all this complex, crazy stuff, see that toupee flying around the room and everything. But it's just like, I'll keep it simple. You'll leave my show able to sing all the melodies I was playing for you. And I feel like that's what's important to me, and I feel like that's what makes me, who I am.
Yeah,
I keep
no,
it simple.
unique. You're unique. You keep it simple. You're classically trained. However, you're also speaking to a different generation that may not necessarily be into the violin music. And on top of that, you converted it into hip hop.
Yeah, hip hop, reggae, soca, everything. R&B, everything.
Love that.
Yeah.
And guess what? We're gonna get a taste of it.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit, just a little bit. He's only gonna give us a little bit. All right, MattViolinist in the house. You guys, we have to take a quick break, but when we return, Matt's gonna perform a special little string piece for us, so don't go anywhere.
After 15 years of smoking, Eva Marie quit. There's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back, everyone. Here to perform Everyone Falls in Love. Please welcome MattViolinist. OMG.
Crazy, right? It changed over the last 2 years.
OMG, you are so much more developed. I mean, you were hot 2 years ago.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word.
Oh, my goodness.
Pero ahora está, pero bien caliente.
Come on now.
Oh, my goodness. I was over there going, yeah.
That's how it should be, man. Like, anytime I play, I always want to make sure that, like, you know, you can feel it. It's fun. It's simple. You know.
Breathtaking. I'm very serious. I'm not saying that because you're one of our regular open artists that comes through with visits. But you rocked it, and thank you so much for making my Friday morning. And you guys, if you guys want more of Matt Violinist, you can go to MattViolinist.com and make sure to check him out on Instagram, FB, and YouTube. You already heard he went viral, so it's at Matt Violinist. And that is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through, and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recablecast tonight and 24 hours a day at BronxNet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Happy Black History Month, everyone. You won't play us out? Let's see, just something a cappella. Is that even a word for music? Yeah, it's a music a cappella.
For me, it'll be instrumental.
All right, so.